South Chainsaw Parts and Repair. Happy 4th of July. Hope everybody's enjoying the day out there. We are looking at Ben's 750. This guy had the saw had some problems when it came in. If I remember right, we did a teardown video that got us to the point of seeing a bum piston. And Ben decided he wanted to go ahead and give one of these aftermarket ones a shot. It's worked out quite well. Just as a recap, here's the old one and the damage. That was on one of the intake ports. The exhaust side of the piston is actually right here, and that's not burned, so that leads me to believe it didn't overheat. And since on the another intake port it's also scored, I'm going to say that an air filter was run on this thing at some point that just wasn't sealing up right, and it sucked some dirt. Fortunately, it didn't jack the cylinder up. There was a little bit of chrome that was peeled right at one of the intake ports. So, would I recommend doing full-scale milling and logging with this saw? No. However, you can hear it's running pretty good. I've had it idling on the bench with a few revs here and there for about 20 minutes, enough for my neighbors probably to want to kill me. But it is running good. I've still got it set rich. You could hear it load up a little bit when I went to full throttle. I want it that way for break-in. I don't want to take any chances. But anyway, any of you guys have been out on eBay looking for some hard-to-find pistons, you probably have seen Little Red Barn. This is the second piston I've used in as many months from them, with great success in just this kind of situation. Hal's 925 a couple weeks ago got the same brand piston in it, so I didn't have any trouble at all with any of the bolt up. I did have to press the bearings out and reuse those. They did not come with bearings installed, but I'm not sure that anybody really should expect that. Pin was exactly the same size, so again, everything went in well, and the compression is good. And that's great compression. Some of the racket you're hearing is I haven't dealt with all of the problems on the clutch side here yet. There are two shoes that are completely garbaged. The lining's gone, and I can see an exploded spring in there, so that's not good. I still got to deal with this if I can find those clutch shoes at this point. But the important thing, I think, from Ben's point of view, is to hear this thing run again. It's been in the family for a while, so anyway. Obviously, there's still more to do. Got to get the handle back on. Air filter needs to be repaired. Part of why I said I thought the air filter had leaked is the grommet is missing on the one that's here, which again is not abnormal. This filter's not bad looking, but the grommet's gone, and these are installed in place. Now that actually probably would work. I'll put a grommet in there, one of my aftermarket ones, but it leads me to believe that it probably was up here, something about like that for a while, and that's when it sucked some dirt past into the engine. But anyhow, Ben, we're making great progress here. Tackle that clutch next and see what in the world I can do, and yeah, report back in. Okay, as promised, got the clutch situation figured out a lot faster than I thought I would. Thankfully, Ben sent me a new drum with the saw that it just worked out perfectly. So the 650 and Super 650 had 5/8 clutches on them. Now their crankshaft thread size is the same as these 750s, even though the 750 is another, what is it, 12 cc's bigger. But the 750 was the first saw. The 750 and the Super 1050 had an optional God, what was it? A 3/4 or 7/8 clutch? I honestly can't remember now. But they also used this lined clutch. It depended on what you were ordering the saw for. So this is what came off of this 750. You can see the lining is missing from those two shoes. And what really gave the trouble with that clank we were hearing is this clutch spring that has the hook busted off. So it had wedged down in there and made all kinds of good stuff of a mess. So anyway, long and the short of it, I went to the 750 IPL, or looked at what was an option there, went back to the Super 650 and realized, wait a minute, I can build a clutch with new old stock parts. The Spider is a 65723-2A, which for those of you guys who do some 925 stuff, you'll recognize that part number. It's a 925 Spider. The 69754-1C clutch shoes, also common to that 925. The 67441 clutch spring, same thing. So basically, this is the same clutch. So I had to go, I built that out of NOS parts, went in the house and got a clutch cover kit. And, okay, have fun, girls.
Are you going to see the fireworks?
Maybe later. Got that, some screws to get a cover on this thing, and that will get it back into good shape. Now the key is having the right size drum. That's harder to find, so Ben did me a great favor by finding that and sending it along with, because it's the same outer diameter basically as a 925 clutch drum, but it's about half as deep. You can see the difference there. Now this drum that came off is unique to that 3-shoe lined clutch. You can't just use the 925 drum in its place. I wish you could. That would make things a hell of a lot easier. But the drum thickness, that wall is twice as thick as what came off of a 925. So the idea, I guess, that they were planning for was that there was going to be more slippage running the bigger bars, therefore more heat was going to be generated. So anyhow, if you can find a appropriate drum for the 650 and Super 650, you can use the 925 style clutch on here and get yourself the 5/8 clutch shoes, which is enough, unless you're really hogging a super long bar. Oop, wrong hole. You're not gonna have any problem with a clutch this size. I looked all over the web and could not find a source for those clutch shoes. They were only used on the 750, and they would have only come from the factory on a 750 for probably 4 or 5 years. So it's not like there's going to be a monumental number of those things laying around out there. And with the depth that this thing sits, those screws that are right there actually probably come right about even to the edge of the drum. They stick out just a little bit past, so I'll make sure there's no clearance issues with the clutch cover with the bar on there, but I highly doubt it. I think we're going to be set. So anyway, that is an option. If you are trying to deal with one of these, find that drum. It's a 68727 under the Homelite number. My guess is there's an Oregon or a Sandvik number out there that's more common, so that you can get the 7 spline that uses a 404 rim. For a long time, Homelite held on to a 6 spline, and those are much, much harder to find, especially replacement rims. So anyway, just a little tip there.